Hello viewers, welcome to Study with Master Notes. Today I will describe sentence transformations. In previous video I already described the sentence transformation, and today we will go to the check your progress. Then I will describe all about sentence transformations. Thank you all for subscribing. Please subscribe my channel, like, share, subscribe and comment in the comment box. Please press the bell icon to get earliest notification of my video. Thank you all. So we will go to types of sentences, sentence transformations, that is negative, sentence transformation interrogative, and sentence transformations exclamatory. So objectives, introduction, that is in sentence there is two parts, one is subject and another is predicate. Already I have discussed in my earlier videos, please go through it. And types of sentences, first of all the assertive or declarative sentences. Assertive or declarative sentences are various kinds of statements. In terms of punctuation, they end in a full stop. Okay, so assertive or declarative sentences are always in positive sense. So Delhi is the capital of India. So here is a punctuation mark, that is full stop. The water in the tank was not safe for drinking. Here it is also a full stop. Then nobody was ready to accept the challenge. Numbers were the biggest problem for the youth, for the young Einstein. I request you to go away immediately. So assertive sentences can be affirmative or negative. Means both affirmative and negative sentences can be used in assertive sentences or declarative sentences. So negative sentences contain some negative element like not, nobody, none, never, nowhere, nothing, etc. Again, affirmative sentences do not contain any such negative element. Okay, so affirmative sentences means positive, and negative or negation sentence already mentions not, nobody, none, never, nowhere. Okay, so see, not, nobody, none, never, nowhere, nothing, etc. These are called negative sentence or negation. These are called negative or negations. Okay, so we will go then affirmative sentences. So I like eating out in evening with friends. So here positive, in positive sense the sentence is used. I like eating, मुझे अच्छा लगता है. Eating out in evening with friends, मुझे बाहर जाके फ्रेंड्स के साथ खाने को अच्छा लगता है. शाम को फ्रेंड्स के साथ बाहर जाके खाने को अच्छा लगता है. तो इट मीन्स इट्स अ पॉजिटिव सेंटेंस. Here it is affirmative sentence. Recently this writer published her autobiography. Already the writer published, वो writer ने publish किए हैं उनके autobiography. Films in 1990s were more socially oriented. Okay, तो 1990s के जितने भी फिल्म हैं वो सब socially oriented हैं. Margaret Thatcher was the former Prime Minister of England. So here it is also an affirmative sentence. Then come to some negative sentences. My friends don't like eating out frequently. Here in negative sense we use don't. Okay, don't like. Then none of our books were published in India. Okay, here the negative sense none is used. Then we shall never forget your great support. Never. You should not take a taxi at this late hour. Okay, you should not. Then he remembers nothing from his visit to Russia. Okay, remembers nothing. Then to summarize from these examples, we will see that assertive sentences, here assertive sentences follow subject verb object sequence. Okay, and they end in full stop. Negative sentences contain some negative element. So here it is very important. What does a assertive sentence contain and what does a negative sentence contain? So in exam point of view, you should write in transformation of sentences if any question arises. What is sentence transformation? You will write there is a assertive sentences which contains both positive and negative sense. Here assertive sentences follows which pattern? Tell me. It is a subject, verb, object sequence. Okay. So assertive sentence follow subject, verb and object. Okay. Then they end in full stop. All assertive sentences are followed by a full stop. Okay. Then the negative sentences contain some negative element. Here it is the third feature, that is non, never, not. These type of words are used in negative element. Then we will go interrogative sentences. So what is a interrogative sentences? All of you know, it's a question mark. Okay, question mark sentences, sentence ends in a question mark. Isn't that your house? Who killed all the cheetahs in India? What does the director know about your policy? So it is the interrogative sentence, means is already contains a question mark at the end. So there are two main types of interrogative sentences, yes no questions and WH questions. So two types of interrogative sentences are there, yes no questions and WH questions. So friends, see this, it is the two types of interrogative sentence, one is yes no and another is WH questions. All of you already know this, but I will remind to write your answer in the exam. So in the examples above, sentence 16 is a yes no question and sentences 17 and 18 are WH questions. Yes no questions are called so because they are answered in either yes or no, and WH questions are called so because they contain some WH word like who, which, where, why, when, etc. So WH questions contain all WH words in the sentences, means who, which, where, why, when, etc. Okay. Then we will go, yes no questions are usually asked to check information or to seek agreement, disagreement. WH questions are usually asked to get information, but both yes no and WH question can also be used to make request, to give suggestions, to invite, etc. in a polite way. Okay. So see, both yes no and WH questions can also be used to make request, to give suggestions, to invite, etc. in a polite way. So these are all polite way questions pattern, means yes no and WH questions. We will make some request, we will give some suggestions and invitations in a polite way. Can you please pass that file? It's a request. Okay, can you please pass that file? It's a request. Then shall we go for a movie tomorrow? It's an invitation. Shall we go for a movie tomorrow? Why don't you try the new herbal treatment? It's a suggestion. Why don't you try the new herbal treatment? एक अच्छा herbal treatment है. Why don't you try the new herbal treatment? So means we are giving some suggestions to anybody. So आप क्यों ऐसा treatment use नहीं करते हैं? So it's a polite suggestion. Then you must have noticed from these examples that both in yes no type and WH questions the subject verb order is reversed. You can becomes can you, that is becomes is that, etc. The WH word is always at the beginning of WH questions. Interrogative sentences carry a question mark in the end, and interrogative sentences can be affirmative or negative. We shall look into more details of forming questions in one of the subsequent sections. So, in exam point of view, these are three features of an interrogative sentence. First one is the WH word is always at the beginning of WH type questions. जो पहले मैं आपको बता चुकी हूँ, WH words is always used at the beginning of WH questions. Again, interrogative question sentences carry a question mark in the end, and interrogative sentences can be affirmative or positive or negative. So we shall look into more details of forming questions in one of the subsequent sections. Then come to imperative sentences. An imperative sentence has the sense of do something or don't do something. So here imperative sentence means do something or don't do something in both affirmative sense and negative sense. They may end in full stop or exclamation mark, and they do not have a subject. So actually imperative sentences have you as an understood subject. For example, keep this bag over there means you keep this bag over there. Here you is in absent form. Okay, here you is in disguised form. Okay, so you keep this bag over there. So here do something or don't do something, imperative. It always ends in a full stop or a exclamation mark. Okay, so here in imperative sentence there is no subject. Okay, so you is used as a subject but in disguised form. Then don't shout at me, leave this room at once, please maintain complete silence in the reading hall, open the window please. In all these sentences you is implied. Imperative sentences are used to make requests, give commands, make suggestions. There is another type, latest type of imperative sentences, which are generally used for invitations or suggestions. Okay, imperative sentences again is used at two types, that is latest type and another is do something or don't do something. Imperative sentences are divided in two parts. Then another type is latest type. Okay, so in latest, when we use latest word, latest for invitations or suggestions. So viewers see this, let us not go that way. Okay, let us not go that way. Let us means we. Okay, let's order some nice warm coffee. Let's order some nice warm coffee. Let's have a grand party on your success. So from all these examples you can understand that imperative sentences have you as an understood subject, but it is not expressed. So as I told you that you is an understood subject but it's not expressed. You is in disguised form. So imperative sentences may end in a full stop or an exclamation mark. They begin with the base form of the verb. Negative sentences begin with don't. In addition, words like please may sometimes be added. Okay, they begin with the base form of the verb. Okay, so here the latest words is used as the base form of the verb. Negative sentences begin with don't. In addition, words like please may sometimes be added. Please may sometimes be added. In latest words, don't and please also we can add. Another type of imperative sentences begins with let us. Okay, here let us type, and here another begin sentence with let us. Then exclamatory sentences. So already you know all about exclamatory sentences. At the end of exclamatory sentences we have a exclamation mark. It means some astonishment. Okay, exclamatory sentences are usually expression of strong emotion. So what is the exclamatory sentences? So exclamatory sentences are usually expression of strong emotion. So you will write in exam that exclamatory sentences are usually expression of strong emotion. So these phrases you should write in your exam. Exclamatory sentences are usually expression of strong emotion. So how we use these emotions? Let's see some examples. ओके सम एग्जाम्पल्स हम लोग देखेंगे कैसे ये एक्सक्लेमेटरी सेंटेंसेस यूज होता है. व्हाट एन अमेजिंग परफॉर्मेंस दे गेव, व्हाट एन अमेजिंग परफॉर्मेंस दे गेव, हाउ क्रूएल ऑफ दैट बॉय टू ट्रीट दैट डॉग दैट वे, हाउ फुलिश ऑफ मी टू कम हियर, व्हाट अ वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम यू हर्ड, हाउ वेरी फनी, व्हाट अ ब्रिलियंट आइडिया. Look at these examples. You may have noticed that exclamatory sentences start with what or how and end in exclamation marks. Okay, what is the beginning for a noun and how for an adjective? Here it is an important point. In exclamation sentences we use what and how in the beginning, okay, and end in exclamation marks. Then what is used as the beginning of a noun, beginning for a noun. ओके व्हाट यूज होता है वो नाउन को डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए. व्हाट इज बिगिनिंग फॉर अ नाउन एंड हाउ फॉर एन एडजेक्टिव. ऑलरेडी यू नो a noun is a naming word and adjective which defines a noun. Okay, so what is beginning for a noun and how for an adjective. Then they may or may not have the subject verb pair. So subject verb pair is not may or may not be in the sentences. So one subject and one verb may present in the exclamatory sentences or may not be present in the exclamatory sentences. All of you clear? Please comment me in the comment box and put questions if you have any doubt. Then if they have subject verb pair, it usually comes at the end of the sentence. Okay, if they have the subject verb pair, it usually comes at the end of the sentence. जो भी सब्जेक्ट वर्ब पेयर है ये यूजुअली क्या होता है ना, एंड ऑफ सेंटेंस में आते हैं. सो एक्सक्लेमेटरी सेंटेंसेस आर नॉर्मली ओनली अफर्मेटिव. सो एक्सक्लेमेटरी सेंटेंसेस आर नॉर्मली ओनली अफर्मेटिव. सो दे आर अफर्मेटिव सेंटेंसेस होते हैं. We shall see more details on the formation of exclamatory sentences in the section on forming exclamatory sentences below. Okay, so here check your progress 1. State whether the following sentences are assertive, interrogative, imperative or exclamatory. So we will practice. What type of sentences there. Who has ever seen a car flying in the sky? Who has ever seen a car flying in the sky? So here is a simple WH questions. WH questions or interrogative. WH questions or interrogative. Then mangoes cannot be packed in aluminum foil. Okay, mangoes cannot be. Here not is used, cannot. So here it is a negative sentences, means assertive sentences. Then how sensible of him to refuse the offer. So here it is the exclamatory sentences. Here it is the exclamatory because exclamation mark is there, so it is the exclamatory sentences. Exclamatory sentences. Don't talk while eating. Don't talk while eating. So it's a assertive sentences. Okay, don't talk while eating. Though it comes under exclamation mark, but it's a declarative sentences. Don't talk while eating. Okay. Then let's have another round of coffee. Let's have another round of coffee. Let's word is used, so it is a imperative sentence. Okay, it's a imperative. Let's word is used, so it is a imperative sentence. Why did she always choose colored dresses? So it contains WH questions, so it is a WH interrogative sentences. I am not in any mood to listen to your long speeches. So I am not in any mood to listen to your long speeches. So not is used negation. So it is a assertive. It is a assertive sentence. What a cruel joke to play on those kids. What a cruel. What is used in beginning for a noun means joke. जोक को सेटिस्फाई करने के लिए व्हाट अ क्रूएल जोक. सो इट्स फॉर नाउन एंड प्ले ऑन दोज किड्स. किड्स के लिए प्ले ऑन दोज किड्स उसके लिए होता है वो क्या होता है ना एडजेक्टिव. एडजेक्टिव को स्पेसिफाई करते हैं. सो ये क्या हुआ है एक्सक्लेमेशन मार्क इज यूज्ड इन लास्ट एंड WH क्वेश्चन इज WH वर्ड्स इज यूज्ड इन फर्स्ट. सो इट्स अ exclamatory sentences. It is a exclamatory sentences. Okay, it's a exclamatory sentences. Then someone had just opened the window without warning. Okay, someone had just opened the window without warning. So it's also assertive sentences. Assertive sentences. How long will this bus take to reach Delhi? How long? How long is used and question mark is used. So it is a interrogative. It's a interrogative sentences. Okay. Then state whether the following sentences are affirmative or negative. If a sentence is negative, underline the negative element in it. Okay. Santa Claus is a popular figure among children. So here it is the affirmative sentence. Here it is the affirmative. Then why did nobody tell me about the incident? So here it is nobody is used. So nobody means it is a negative sentence. Then do not leave your bags unattended on the platform. Here it is not is used. Do not leave your bag. So here it is again negative sentence. How wonderful the food was in that little pub. Okay, how wonderful the food was in that little pub. Here it is a assertive sentence. Save your work before shutting down the computer. Okay, save your work before shutting down the computer. Here it is also assertive sentence. Then the young man would never tell the police about his family. Okay, the young man would never here it is used. So here it is a negative sentence. What a strange thing to say on the occasion. What a strange thing to say on the occasion. So here it is the affirmative. Nowhere in Australia will one find a dirty beach full of garbage. Nowhere. Okay, so nowhere is used. So it is a negative sentence. How she manages to get so much money in is not my concern. How she manages to get so much money. How she manages to get so much money is not my concern. Okay, so here it is. How she manages to get so much money is not my concern. So it is not my concern how she manages to get so much money. So here it is not is used. So here it is a negative sentence. When will they understand the importance of our time? Here it is the affirmative sentence or positive sentence. Then sentence transformations negative. So sentence transformations in negative. In this and the next three sections, we shall look at some of the common sentence transformations which pose problems for Indian users of English. Here we shall look at how negative sentences are formed, while in the next sections we shall look at the formation of interrogative, imperative and exclamatory sentences. As we saw in section 5.2, negative sentences contain some negative element like no, not, none, nobody, never, etc. This means that in order to form negative sentences, we should add a negative element to the original sentence. We shall now look at how different types of sentences are transformed into negatives. Okay, different types of sentences, how it is transferred to negatives, we will see. So let's start. Assertive sentences. Look at the following examples where negative elements are added to the original sentences. Means original sentences is in assertive form in both positive and negative forms, and we will add some negative elements to make it negative sentence. So let's see the examples. Weather on these islands is very pleasant. Okay, weather on these islands is very pleasant. So weather on these islands is not very pleasant. So after is we add not. So it's a negation. She could lift those heavy bags. She could not lift those heavy bags. Here we add not. My friends were planning to arrange a surprise for me. My friends were not planning. Okay, my friends were not planning. Here we add not in 3 sentences. So it is a negative sentence or negation. Then note, it is quite common to use contracted forms like isn't, couldn't, etc. instead of full forms in negative sentences. So these are called isn't, couldn't, these are called contracted forms. Is in affirmative sense and isn't in negative sense. Could in affirmative sense and couldn't in negative sense. You will see that the element not is added after the first auxiliary can, where, etc. and after the be form is. Okay, not can be used after the first auxiliary can, where, etc. and after the be form. Means is, am, where, been, these are the be form. In case a sentence has only the main verb and no auxiliary, then we have to introduce do, does, did before using not. Okay, so in case a sentence has only the main verb and no auxiliary, मेन वर्ब होता है और उसके नो ऑक्सिलरी वर्ब नहीं होते हैं, तो we can use do, does, did before using not. These children love the sticky chocolate milk. These children do not love the sticky chocolate milk. The spatial monitor helps in locating delivery vans. The spatial monitor doesn't help in locating delivery vans. A speeding car injured the old man. A speeding car did not injure the old man. Okay, so don't, doesn't, didn't we use in sentences to make it negative sentences. There is another way forming negative sentences. If the original sentences contain words like anybody, somebody, everybody, anything, something, everything, somewhere, sometimes, etc., we can also form negatives by using related negative words like nobody, nothing, nowhere, never, etc. So already we have discussed, after adding nobody, nothing, nowhere, never, we can make a sentence negative. Then somebody was knocking on the door last night. So we can use nobody to make it negative. Means nobody was knocking on the door last night. Everything in this shop is very expensive. Nothing in this shop is very expensive. You could buy anything in a few rupees then. You could buy nothing in a few rupees then. You may have also noticed that the meaning of the negative sentence in all the above examples is opposite to the meaning of the original sentences. So, let's see what are the meaning of these sentences. Let's see the last 44 examples. Okay, you could buy anything in a few rupees then. Means you could buy. तुम कुछ ही रुपीस में सब कुछ बाय कर सकते हो, जो भी कुछ आप बाय कर लेते हो. यू कुड बाय नथिंग इन अ फ्यू रुपीस देन. आप कुछ भी बाय नहीं कर सकते, नथिंग. ओके, कुछ भी बाय नहीं कर सकते, कुछ भी खरीद नहीं सकते इसको you could buy nothing in a few rupees then. You may have also noticed that the meaning of the negative sentence in all the above examples is opposite to the meaning of the original sentence. In practice, we often come across tasks or examination questions where students are asked to change a sentence into negative without changing its meaning. Teachers teach students to use an antonym of some word in the sentence along with a negative element so that the meaning remains the same. Okay, so here it another challenge comes. So without changing its meaning, we use some antonyms to make it a negative element, okay, negative sentence. But it is really difficult not to change the meaning, because the meaning of a negative sentence will never be the same as that of the original affirmative sentence in spite of any play of words. So it's a magic of words. So how to use some magic of words to do a negative sentence from an affirmative sentence without changing its meaning? There will be some difference of meaning. Look at the following sentence. She was feeling very sad the whole day. She was not feeling very happy the whole day. Here it is, the meaning is same. Okay. She was feeling very sad. Very sad. Here we use very happy. But in Bob we use she wasn't feeling very happy the whole day. Okay. Means वो दिन भर दुखी अनुभव कर रही थी. So she was not feeling very happy the whole day. Again we feel the same meaning. वो दिन भर बहुत खुश महसूस नहीं कर रही थी, मीन्स वो दुखी महसूस कर रही थी. She was not feeling very happy the whole day. It's the same meaning we are using. Then everybody in this group is a good worker. So in everybody we can use nobody. Nobody in this group is a bad worker. So good worker we can change it's bad worker. So nobody in this group is a bad worker. I hate ice cream. So we can use I don't like ice cream. I don't like ice cream. You will agree that both the sentences in each pair do not mean exactly the same thing. It makes better sense to ask students just to form negative sentences and not insist on avoiding change of meaning, because the main purpose of such task or question is to see if students can use negative constructions. Then we go to interrogative sentence. It is easy to form negatives of interrogative sentences. In interrogative sentences, the first auxiliary is already shifted before the subject, or if there is no auxiliary, forms do, does or did are already in place. Okay, so it is easy to form negatives from interrogative sentence. So interrogative sentence को हम लोग easy में convert कर सकते हैं negative sentence को. Interrogative sentence, the fact auxiliary is already shifted before the subject. If there is no auxiliary, again do, does, did already in place. The negative is formed by adding not to these auxiliaries or forms of do. The process is the same in yes no type and in WH type questions. Please remember that there is a difference of construction when we use the contraction not and when we use the full form not for making negative. The contraction not is directly attached to the first auxiliary of forms of do, but that full form not is placed after the subject. Both the constructions are given below so that you can compare them. So let us see yes no questions. Is she coming to the theatre? So how we can convert the yes no questions into interrogative sentence? Let's see. So we can use is she coming to theatre? So we can use isn't she coming to theatre? Is she not coming to theatre? We can use is she not coming to theatre? Both are correct. Okay. Then have you heard of the new film? So have you? We can use haven't you? Haven't you heard the new film? Again, have you not heard of the new film? So both are correct. Then, should the workers stop working now? Shouldn't the workers stop working now? We can use, again, should the workers not stop working now? We can use, can someone tell the right password for this machine? Can't someone tell the right password for this machine? Can someone not tell the right password for this machine? So in both the cases, these are same. The meaning is same and we can use negations. So already friends, I have discussed transformation of sentences in interrogative sentences. In my next video, I will describe the WH questions and rest of the transformation of sentences. So please guys, keep watching my videos and like, share and subscribe to your my channel, and please share among your friends. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.